The race to secure top 4 is on in the Deploy Premier League 2. Good evening and welcome to Bert Saunders Reserve, home of the Blacktown St Pats, who host Minchinbury Jets in the Deploy Premier League 2 match of the round. This is the last regular season live stream in the second tier, and it's set to be spicy. With promotion winners Tigers long locked in alongside the ever-entertaining Oakville, it leaves Polonia in third place to Minchinbury in seventh, competing for just 2 finals spots. And the results from around the grounds today, and this very match of the round, will be integral in deciding who finishes where, with 3 to go after this. I've left my space in my notes to tell you about what's happening around the grounds. Polonia vs Glenwood and Oakville v Spurs as they kicked off at 4 p.m. But unfortunately, I haven't heard anything yet, so those games are obviously running late, so I will leave you all in suspense. So, this is the match heading into today. If Polonia have won against Glenwood in first grade, then they will have secured finals football, and it will make it almost impossible for Glenwood to break into the top 4. If Spurs have upset Oakville, who have nothing to play for because they have secured finals, then they will keep the pressure on St Pats. Tigers, Oakville, Polonia, St Pats. That's your top 4 heading into this round from 1st to 4th. Spurs, Glenwood, and then Minchinbury round out the table. Today's visitors, Minchinbury Jets, have the slimmest, most unlikely chances of still making finals football, with the Jets on 13 points, and considering that they have a bye next week, the max that they can finish on is 19 points. With fourth place St Pats already on 18. St Pats also have a bye, and their last game is against Polonia next week. For Minchinbury to land on the moon, it will require them to win their remaining 2 games and pray that Glenwood, Spurs and St Pats proceed to lose all their remaining games. 1% chance, 99% faith. Now, I have a ton more words to speak to you, but I will reveal them as the live stream goes on. Obviously, we had a little bit of a delay heading into this, so what I'm going to do is turn my pages and head straight into the starting 11s, if you don't mind. We will start with the home side. It's the first ever match of the round live stream from this wonderful venue. The last 2 that St Pats have been considered at home for has been at Blacktown Football Park. Sean McDonald made his way up from reserve grade to first grade at the start of the year and has really cemented himself as the starting keeper. He's a St Pats junior, and it's no surprise that he's been able to hold on to the number 1 spot this long. From left to right in the back 4, it's Reese Mangnal in the 53 jersey, Jacques Murray in the 46, making his match of the round debut at just 20 years old. Suhail Koya the Destroyer wears the number 9, despite the fact that he's playing as a centre-back, and he's next to Vikash Mishra. By the way, shout out to the family members of those last 2 there watching along from in Fiji right now. It's a midfield 3 of Arsalan Mangul, and Michael Soa is the captain, and then the furthest forward is Tamba Aliyu. The latter 2 of those midfielders, of course, all-star representatives up against Spartans 20s earlier in the year. Max Dengate starts off to the left, making his first appearance as a left winger ever in his life, although considering the fact that he's normally a centre-back, 1 goal and 6 assists in 2023 is not a bad return at all. Yasu Buta was a late arrival to the pitch, but the number 41 will be starting off to the right, and having only made 7 appearances and already notching up 2 assists, 8 goals, 3 of which of those goals have been against Minchinbury in the last 2 matches that they've played, Elvis Enchi starts with the 18 on his back. What a striker he is. Now let's go to the much changed and very much the backing up from reserve grade Minchinbury Jets. Similar to last week, but they're a little bit fitter than what I could suggest. Tarkan Shalai has really made the number 1 spot, much like Sean McDonald, mind you, his own this year. Has the 19-year-old standing at 6 foot. Still plenty of growing to go for the young lad. From left to right in the back 4, it's Joshua Baker making his first match of the round appearance in 2 years in the 32 jersey. It's his 4th year only ever of playing football. Simran Singh, of course, a representative at the SICK Games, the 4th year in his tenure as a Minchinbury Jet, and one of the long-standing players at the club at this point, is next to Blake Hicks Ashton, who's backing up from reserve grade. One of the fastest players in the entire comp, if not of all of Blacktown. And on the right back, it's Jackson Manns in the 29 jersey. It's a midfield 3 that has been changed at the last minute. Blake Morris, the club captain and coach, comes in to play as the deepest of the midfield 3. Adam Markanovic is injured. Manjot Batal, who has a match of the round goal to his name, has the 11 jersey. He plays as an 8 today. He was more of a 10/left winger last time. Quaker Wasare, who was also the vice captain along with Blake, is wearing the number 4 jersey. Bryce D'Souza makes his match of the round debut. CR47 self-proclaimed he is, with the number 47 on his back as the 19-year-old looking for his first goal in first grade today. On the right, it's Michael Pender, who plays as a right back or a right wing, and through the middle, Kurt Crowie in the 25 jersey. Those are the 2 starting 11s. Thank you so much for joining us here on the BDSFA TV, whether on YouTube or Facebook. Don't forget to leave a like at some point when you feel like minimising your screen. Best of luck to both sides as we head into this hotly contested one. If they want any chance of making top 4 in first grade, Minchinbury have to win these next 2 games, and one of those, of course, being this one. Looks like Buta has picked it up straight from the car park into the starting 11, and that's been sent way over by T-Boy Tamba Aliyu, better known as T-Boy in this team. Very big Arsenal fan. So I wouldn't be surprised if he can play good for the first 80 minutes. And then unfortunately die in the backside for the last 10 or so. Minchinbury, the first to concede a shot. It's the first time in match of their own history we've had a shot before we've had a throw-in, which is rather fantastic. Usually it takes about 3 seconds before we notch up one taken from the sideline. Soa puts it back. It's Crowley who is leading the press right now. Another one, and one of many in Minchinbury colours, making their match of the round debut today. Mangnal, Kwaku Asare, and Blake Morris couldn't really figure out who was going to get on the ball there. Kwaku has picked it back up as Minchinbury look to keep a bit of press on. There's a bit of an injury concern here for Asalam Mangul. Should be just an easy claim for Shawnee McDonald, which it is. But Asalam, the 33-year-old, has actually got 7 goal contributions in 2023, but took a break from football last year. Gave birth, well, not him, but his partner gave birth to a child and took the year off, obviously. Taking maternal leave from football, completely understandable. Back into the swing of things now. Sent wide. Aliu up against Simran Singh. He's passed him now into the box. It's been squared. It's been a swing and a miss. Hicks Ashton clears. Coming together there, but it's Koya who came away with it. A little bit of pressure put on there from Jackson Mans. So you might remember Bernard Freeman from one of the very first match of the round games of the season, a goal of the week winner from the goal that he scored in that game. He's on the bench today. Griffin Jacobs, who scored 2 in a 4-2 loss against Oakville, at Oakville, in a rather wet day, if you do remember it. Ruined my notes from that game. I have nothing to take from that. He's not here today either. So Minchinbury have really been chopped and changed. There's some consistency, particularly through the spine, which I think is an important thing, but at the end of the day, they are still sitting at the bottom of the table with the deployed PL2. That's Jacques Murray, who was recently suspended but has returned this week. Soa, who's a little bit further forward. Here finds Dengate. Max goes back to Koya. Simple square pass to probably a more technically proficient player. Murray feeds it through the midfield line expertly well there to find Yasu Buta. Picked up here by Crowley. No, Jacques Murray in the end got there first. They're having a little bit of a hug and a kiss. And then finally it's Buta who puts his foot on the ball, but did the touchline beat him to it? No. On we go. And forward comes some Pat. And Aliu. Square pass, nice triangles being made here, and then a wonderful ball in behind. My word, that's exceptional there from Mangul. Can they now square it and find an early goal in the match of the round? Well cleared there by Manjot Patel. Someone who knows how to turn it on in the match of the round, but this time it's in his own box defending. A silly giveaway. Buta has latched onto it quickly there. Good stuff in recovery by Blake Hicks Ashton. That's a hyphenated last name, by the way. Big thank you to our wonderful trio of referees here today. Cody Kingot and, of course, Thomas Roos Davis on our sidelines, and through the middle, Lockie Baker, who's always happy to delay games by a minute or two to make sure that our Match of the Round streams have their proper intro. What a referee. So some pats with the territory at the moment. Simple throw in. Mangul, who has produced the best pass of the day so far. There's another great switch of it here. Koya. Suhail finds Reese Mangnal. Another one backing up from reserve. Not him. He picked up there by Tarkan Chalai. There's already a player in Minchinbury Jets colours testing out the calves there. Brave work. it's good leadership there shown by Kwaku Asare, former Glenwood man of just last year, urging his team to slow things down. This throw-in's going to be taken back. Jackson Mann's made too much yardage there. These two sides know all too well about each other. A lot of former players of Minchinbury have made their way into St. Pat's colours. The blue with the tinges of white and yellow. So Manjot Patel, who has a match of the round goal. Speaking of Glenwood, against Glenwood. He's got 4 this season. He's their equal top goal scorer in first grade. His brother Manbir isn't here today. Is this a chance to deliver or to fire one towards the top corner? He's capable of either. A really talented player. Here it comes. Delivery towards the top left-hand corner, I would say. I think it was more of a cross than it was a shot, but in the end he overhit it, so it kind of registers as neither. Played short and square, a little bit of a bubble along this pitch, which is much like the Minchinbury Jets side, a bit damaged through the spine. Mangle, I'm already a massive fan of what I've seen from him. Jacques Murray has progressed it with every touch he's got on the ball, which I'd like to see. He's going to be called into action here defensively. He's done quite well. Koya. Let's find Mangnal. Outside of the right boot pass was cheeky, but in the end it was way overhit. Ended up being a goal kick. So that's why there's such a delay here. Would you believe me if I told you that this day should bring about 3 points for one of the two teams? And let me tell you why, because 3 is the magic number. The last couple of appearances, I'm just going to stop myself here because look who's doing what he does best, Enchi. Hicks' action's actually done even better there to hold him off. The pace battle there, that'll be great to watch all afternoon and into the evening. Sent into next week, but the last 5 meetings between these two sides, 3-0 to St. Pat's, 3-0 to St. Pat's, 3-0 to the Jets, 3-all, and then 3-0 to Minchinbury, those last 3 results going into last year. This, of course, being the 3rd match of 2023. And then in 2021, it was 6-1 to St. Pat's and 8-1 to St. Pat's. So 23-11 on aggregate, but who's counting? 34 goals in total. But it's a day for 3s, so 3 points should be going the way of one team, and 3 points going the way of either team will help them tremendously in their hunt for the finals. So, Premier Spurs have drawn 2-all in first grade. Now, I have prepared a sheet here to help me out as much as possible in the downtime of this game. So the maximum amount of points that Spurs could have gotten was 24. That's now dropped down to 22. As this ball comes in towards the back stick, Simran Singh was there. Good turn there by Buta. And he's passed his oppressor with relative ease, again sent into next week. So the maximum amount of points that they can get now, Spurs, is 22. Which means that if St. Pat's win today, they should only need a draw, barring Premier Spurs winning by a seemingly improbable amount of goals. Great Berbatov-esque spin there by Crowley. In the end, he actually ran out of space while doing it. If St. Pat's win today, they go from 18 to 21 points. The max that Spurs could get is 22, and that's if they win next week. If. Another massive coming together there. So St. Pat's, the pressure mounts on them just a little bit. Not that they would know it until they probably get into the halftime change rooms. Depending on who's listening from around the grounds. Put him behind towards Dengate. Hicks Ashton, who's always just there to put his body in the way. Forward he drives. Well picked up there by Mangnal. Koya gives it back to the left back. Ex-Minchinbury player as well is Reese. Minchinbury player as well is. Minchinbury player as well is. In his second match of the man appearance, his first was at Oakville. The young gun who's come into the front. Koya has to be careful. Crowley was there. In the end, he plays it simply to his recently accustomed centre-back partner, Jacques Murray. Jax, they call him out there on the pitch. Enchi picks it up. Great show of strength too, and he wins the free kick. I would have liked to have seen advantage played there, but either way, on we go now. They've still kept their momentum. Soa, he is a danger man in midfield. Enchi, can he notch up a 9th goal in what would be 8 and a bit games? Oh, it's worked out really well here for the All-Star T-Boy, Tamba Aliu. Square pass, Enchi threatening Kweku Asare. Clipped in behind, expert pass. My word, that's a serious asset. Tamba Aliu, no, going towards the back stick. It might hold up for them nicely though. Ended up being a nice cross. Can they find a way back into the box? Second bite of the cherry has so far worked out quite well, but Buta just couldn't do it all on his own. Credit to him for trying it though. He knows the cameras are on. Michael Soa. Good cross in, really great cross, and a terrible miss. Elvis Enchi, that should have been his match of the round debut goal. That should have been goal number 9. At the start of the 8th game he's played. And that's an uncharacteristic miss for him. I know he'll be watching this back. I'm sure he'll have a second chance to make amends. But that one, way over the bar from way too close. Blake Morris, who's played almost the entire reserve grade game. Already looking like there are fitter players around him at the moment with fresher legs. Buta, brilliant. A couple of changes of direction that happened so quickly, even my eyes couldn't keep up. Soa with that brilliant delivery. As some Pats are trying to create from midfield. Really well done. Picked up here by Dengate, the centre back. Clips it in behind. Flag stays down. Great save at the near post, Tarkan Chalai. Almost straight away. A corner it will be. Across goes Vikash Mishra at 38 years old. He's one of the ones who helped build this team here at Premier League level for some Pats. He can have a conversation with anybody. Everybody knows exactly who he is and his impact. Said he was going to retire 2 years ago, but he just keeps on coming back because he can deliver crosses in like that. Cleared away initially, Michael Soa. He scored an own goal in the last match of the round appearance. I'm sure he'd love to have one go in the correct net. Koya will try it, and it was always going wide. He apologises. He probably won't take one again. Some Pats with all the shots in the territory at the moment. And cleared. Picked up there by Murray. And Minchinbury, after a little bit of 50-50, I'd say, for the first 10 minutes or so. It's been all some Pats these last 5. Enchi. Delivered in by... Oh, in the end, just enough of a flick by the goalkeeper to save his team. And it was clear by Jackson Man to be more careful than that. Chalai is a very young keeper, though. Point of learning for him there. Never go to a cross too early. Dengate against Mans, 23 on 29. Left foot ball in. Enchi here. And then the offside flag was raised. Not that Yasu Buta knew much about it before he hit that. We've all been enjoying the Women's World Cup. I said that during the last Blacktown hosted Women's Premier League live stream that the next time that we go live for Blacktown, it would be a couple of games in already to the prodigious tournament. How much fun has it been so far? Well done to the Matildas for having such a great start. Mangle, with so much time. The 3 finds the 4, finds Jacques Murray. Aliou, who's just capable everywhere across that sort of top of the midfield, but he likes to drift off to the right, as you might have noticed. It's a wonderful trait of his. Koya. Murray being closed down here. I haven't even said the name of Bryce D'Souza just yet. Poor fella's been able to get on the ball only once, and that was just then. 15 into this game. On the nose. That's a monstrous throw. Crowley picks it up, flicks it behind him. Sola has been rattled into. He's going down in a heap. Hopefully he's okay. Kweku Asare puts one on Murray. Kweku Asare is a physical presence to be reckoned with. Sola still down. A bit of a kerfuffle in the box. Finally it's been cleared. Simran Singh can't combine too well there. And finally a play's been stopped. Joshua Baker putting it out. A real concern here for Soa, who has stayed down unmoving in the last 30 seconds or so. So a 2-2 draw for Polonia means that Polonia in first grade have not secured their finals spot just yet. They are 2 points shy. So it's all still happening. It is all still happening. These are positive signs for even Minchinbury, who are hoping with fingers crossed, toes as well, that things can bounce their way. They were in 4th spot for a little while around the midway point of the season before they lost a couple of players, unfortunately. That's played in behind really well by Blake Morris to find Crowley. Crowley now into the box on his weaker side, though he squares it, and Bryce D'Souza, it was too lame of him. Putting the pressure on is the young 19-year-old left winger. Buta sending it in behind. Enchi. Hicks Ashton put his head where most wouldn't put their foot. Oh, dangerous. Dangerous. Look at the in the direction of the referee. Soa, who's back to full health, by the way. Batted into, wins a free kick. Helped to his feet by Kweku Asare. 4-on-4. Captain on captain. Strange to hear a 19-year-old goalkeeper, Tarkanchello, telling his coach, no less, to get in the wall. Everyone's got to do a job, though. Well, it's power driven towards goal, but wide of the left-hand upright by Asalan Mangle. No rush here for Minchinbury out the back. The longer it stays 0-0, the more Minchinbury will hope. Here comes that hope through Michael Pender in behind. Enough of a touch, maybe. Bryce D'Souza now into the box. Bryce D'Souza needs to square. He's flicked it back. Crowley! Good save. Sean McDonald. Danger hasn't been alleviated yet. But Minchinbury looked so deadly from that counter-attack, didn't they? My word, did they fire back quickly. Really nice work there by Crowley, D'Souza. And Michael Pender with the ball in behind too. Well, Simpatu are back on the ball now. And they're just going to take their time, as you can understand, I'm sure. Buta cleared there by Vikash Mishra. Bit of a miscommunication. Finally does go back to Chalai, who clears it upwards. That's a terrible clearance. It's asking way too much. Hospital pass there for Aliu, who's picked it up. Although Minchinbury will actually get the throw, so in the end it's worked out quite well. Another monstrous throw-in. My word, that could be a real asset if they get a bit higher up the pitch. Crowley's been beaten to it. Throw in again. 7 yards or so. Another long throw. Should be won by Soa. Flicked backwards though. Important win by Koya there. D'Souza now. Fleet-footed and brave. Well played at the back there by some Pats. Composed. They dragged Minchinbury one way, sent it the other. And now they've found some space on that far side touchline. Aliu. Wasn't too long ago in the COVID cancelled season when some Pats were promotion favourites, you know. They've dropped down a little bit of the way since then, but the finals push could be really healthy for this team. What a great flick on it is. Chalai coming for it, and coming for it well. Good throw to Kwaku Asare. Blake Morris gives it back to him. Sent wide to D'Souza. And the moment he's become more involved in the play, Minchinbury have started playing better. Buta hasn't got much space to work with. It's been taken off him. Blake Morris has tried to play it forward as quick as possible. Cleared. Soa, great touch inside. The second one wasn't as ideal though. Jacques Murray, and now left to Mangle. Another accurate pass with driven pace. Mangle again, sends it into the midriff of Kwaku Asare there with Enchi on the ground. Still Mangle. Wide to Buta. Centered to Aliu. Great triangles being made all across that far side. Buta has come central here. Making the run is Reese Mangnal. Centered back to their captain, Michael Soa, who continues on his run. Enchi turns past Simran Singh. And now Aliu squared pass and no one there. Manjot Patel, poor clearance. It's come straight here to Yasu Buta. Pass one again, past Mans. And then towards the bottom corner. What a save! He got down so quickly, Chalai. And he's kept his side in the game. The best save of the game so far. Called into action right on the 20-minute mark. And that's kept it deadlocked. Around the grounds as well. Wow, Doonside have lost 2-1 to Creek. A Kyle Dominici-less Doonside. That's now 4 draws and a loss in their last 5 games. And Dominici, Kyle that is, has only played in 15 minutes of those. Wow, interesting towards the back stick now. Pender having to do the defending, the right winger. Although he has played right back in a match of the round before. And now the foot race is on. Happened last time. Crowley, there's a chance to put it to D'Souza. Oh, and a terrible pass. D'Souza will put the pressure back on, but Crowley unfortunately ruined the momentum there. And they're just dangerous from that counter-attack, aren't they? That needs to be their plan of attack, I think. Dangerous play there by Murray, the 21s player up into first grade this year. Just clipped over the top. Cleared by Simran Singh, but Hicks Ashton called upon. Gone towards Pender. It's a battle of who's braver with their forehead. Back to Mans. Under pressure by Koya. Free kick. Probably smart by Koya because he was so far out of his natural centre-back position. Simran Singh, who's featured on our podcast before. Unfortunately, couldn't get Minchinbury on this week for reasons unbeknownst to me. That ball has actually hit the corner flag, and it is still in. Mangnao called in to clean up. Some Pats under pressure when they didn't want to be or expect to be, but they've done really well. And some Pats we know are a team who play for the full 90 minutes. Despite anything going against them, we saw them almost come back against Quakers Hill Tigers, no less, who have secured promotion already. They won the game from the 30th minute onwards. Obviously, that doesn't count to anything in a long grand scheme of things, but still. Suhail Koya, Blake Morris in his back, trying to stop him there. I'd suggest that could be a yellow card, and some Pats faithful asking for that as well. Squared by Soa. Murray squares to Vikash Mishra, who put his age into dribble wrong, and so therefore it says that he's 48 and not 38 years old. If he were to be 48, he'd be the best moving 48-year-old I've seen in a while. That's some Rocky 5 type of stuff. And she was beaten to it by Hicks Ashton. That's been a good battle so far, hasn't it? But it still should have been 1-0 to St. Pat's with his chance. Cleared by Chalai. That's better from him. Miss Mangao. Picked up here by Koya. Finds Arsalan Mangal composed. Press 3 when you know how to pass the ball properly. Really simple lessons. Even at this level of the game, it's the simple stuff that works most effectively. Here it is again. Watch them pass around them. Dangerous, but it's going to work. Koya sends it wide. Actual bit of possession here. Mario Gonzalez, you can take a bow for this bit of this string of possession here. Soa's quick enough to get there. Being closed down by D'Souza. Good pass there with his left foot. More of a poacher than he is really a creator. Can he prove me wrong though? No. No. As he whole phase of play there, about a minute's worth of possession. Rather lovely there. If you're wondering what that background noise is, by the way, there is a train line that runs behind the Minchinbury away end. Could be a long one. Chalai clears. Mangal picks it up. Another good touch that's worked out in his favour. What a game he's having. Soa, who put in the best cross of the day. Should have had a match of the round assist. Well, it looks like the train has slowed down to actually watch the match of the round. Now it's picking back up speed. As are St. Pat's. Square pass, really nicely done. Tamba Aliu, good save. Mans clears, that's a poor clearance. Dengate is there! Oh, splendid finish! His first ever game at left wing in St. Pat's colours. And a match of the round to go with it too. That was a really special finish. Do you have any idea how difficult the technique was? And he got it spot on perfect into the side netting inside the post. That was brilliantly well done. And away from football, he works in sales. He certainly didn't sell a dream there. A wonderful finish. And St. Pat's have their deserved goal as they push towards securing top 4 in first grade. Crowley tries a long shot, blocked off before it could even get any momentum by Koya. And this is the St. Pat's we've wanted to see for so many years in the match of the round. I've yet to really see them take a match of the round by storm because we've been unlucky where they've had injuries or players at the Barcelona in Sydney game up against the All-Stars, for example. So it's great to see what close to full strength they look like, and it's fascinating to watch. Max Dengate, the number 23, usually a centre-back. Well, the centre of attention. Sending over this, Vikash Mishra. Well, Arsalan Mangal had the last one from a little bit further out, I would say, and more towards the camera. This time it's his turn to pile drive this towards goal. This time Blake Morris and Kwaku. Asare standing in it. The wall, that is. Mishra. Well, this would be a rare goal. Might be Koya who takes. Ooh. Some pats while we have a little break and play. And I would have mentioned this in the intro if I hadn't been so rudely interrupted by Father Time. And that is the fact that against teams not in the top three, of course remembering that they are in that fourth spot, they have absolutely put everyone to the sword this year. And I really mean their record is almost perfect. However, against the top three, so that is from, in descending order, Tigers, Oakville and Polonia, they have one more game to play against them. That's Polonia next week, where they could secure top four, right? Guess how many points they've got out of an available 27 against the top four. Dengate here again, sliding in on Hicks Ashton. Against the top three, guess how many points they've got against them? We talked about it at length on the podcast. 2 out of 24. They have 2 draws. They have 2 draws. 1 point they're up 3-0 against Polonia in their most recent meeting, and then most recent meeting, and ended up run. Some Pats loving it. Michael Soa has been exceptional today, and that's twice he's continued on. Third man run kick. Standing over it is Suhei Okoya currently with the ball in hand. Calls from the sideline to give it to Max Dengate, who wants a very rare double, and in the match of the round, it'd be special. So Suhei Okoya, the left-footed centre-back, who just had a free kick that went well over the bar. Will he find the back of the net from the spot? 11 yards to double their advantage in their search for the top four. Suhei Okoya, bottom corner, 2-0. Some Pats too good. And this is looking very much like their 3 points staying right here at Bert Saunders today. A perfectly okay penalty. It wasn't too difficult. He didn't overthink it. He found the back of the net, and perhaps Tarkan Shalai might look back at it and say, could I have done better? I'm not sure. That's his decision to make. But just like that, it seems Minchinbury's chances of top four have all but officially slipped away. Two Nilsson Pats. Too good. Well, the last 2 meetings have gone St. Pat's way 3-0. The last 3 meetings have gone St. Pat's way 3-0 twice, and Minchinbury's 3-0 once. We're already at 2-0 here, inside the half an hour mark. Or just past it, forgive me. Crowie. Asare beaten to it too. Batal slows it down. Given away by their captain, Dengate. Batal did well. Back to Tamba Aliu. Thought about it. Laid it off instead. Uta. Sent wide towards Mishra. Picked up by T-Boy. Passed to Souza. And then back behind him. Soa, who won the penalty. That's doubled their advantage. And again, St. Pat's opting to hold possession, which is very credible. What a pass. Koya, my word. Cleared corner. Wow. St. Pat's out there in the match of the round playing football. I know that seems like a strange thing to say, but the nature in which they're playing is very attractive. And it comes again towards that back stick. Headed towards goal, and the keeper was right there. Good positioning, you have to call it. It was Koya who would have had a brace from centre back. Well, that's maybe why he's wearing the number 9 jersey. Well done by the former Minchinbury man. Wins it out of the sky again. Batal. Space for D'Souza. Can they find him and make a game of this? Just inside the box. It's now tracked outside. Bryce D'Souza, the 19-year-old. Took too much of a loose touch there. And look at the space for T-Boy. That's a perfect pass. And the touch was even better. Arsalan Mangal could play at any level. I've been very impressed with what I've seen. On cue, gives it away. Once again, I ask myself, do I stop saying nice things about players? So I thought about it. Should have taken it. 2 to the good, why not? Couldn't beat his man that time, Tamba Aliyu, and 2 All-Stars combined. Soa with some dogged defensive work though. Football back in, it's been missed towards the back stick, and Buta was threatening as they swapped wingers at the moment. Even Dengate, he's come central for the time being. Such a fluid front line, isn't it? Mishra, Tamba Aliyu. Cross back in, Mishra. I think it's actually been a very good save by Chalai. Soa pierces it through that sort of 6 area there and cleared. Minchinbury under the pump. The Jets, their wings clipped. Again, they'll opt to play football rather than just forcing it. Crowley putting pressure on. What's helping them though, St. Pat's, is that Minchinbury are not pressing it in the slightest. It's not a low block, but they're not pressing. Look, very static. Aliyu. Goes back, Mangle. Blake Morris in his back. Clip towards the back. Gate. I don't think he was aiming for that sort of area. He kind of slipped at the pivotal moment. Soa's been beaten by Manjot Patel. Bit of a grab of the shirt, but they've kept possession, so Mans keeps going for Minchinbury, asking a lot of Blake Morris. A lot he does, though. Kwaku Asare. Past Soa, past Dengate. Mans. Pass was pulled by Mangle, though. Patal opts to clear. Jacques Murray with plenty of time. Yasu Buta. Aliyu. Buta. Individual brilliance. He's got all the confidence in the world, though. He should be encouraged to keep going. Koya might be forced into a professional foul here. Jacques Murray might have to. And D'Souza wasn't able to get onto that quickly enough, although no one would have. Not even Usain Bolt. Past the halfway line. Enchi. Buta in behind. There's something brewing here. A 3v2. Aliyu goes down. Free kick raised just outside the box. They were trying to say it was inside, and now they're going to go to the sideline to say, was it in or out? Ooh, right on the edge of the box. Minchinbury very lucky there. Vikash Mishra standing over it. Bit of a delay here. Just the 3 and a bit minutes to go until the half is over. If they can find a third before we get to the break, they'll be singing home almost assuredly. Mishra hits it towards goal, off the crossbar, and then it bounced just shy of the goal line too. Buta. Koya is there. Soa loses out. Can they launch a counter-attack from this? They just went so close to going behind by... Oh. From what I've seen right now from an attacking standpoint, this might seem crazy to some, but this is probably the most effective football I've seen played in the PL2. And me and my 0 coaching qualifications coming to the front here with my opinion giving in the middle of the first half. But as Dengate launches one, it's being a little bit, and it goes over. He's got a lot of confidence now. He should be encouraged to keep going for those, especially 2 to the good. But currently the combinations I'm seeing, this interplay in the swapping of wingers, the 7s and 11s dropping central when they need to and allowing third man runs from Michael Soa. This is brilliant. Mario Gonzalez's team are playing great football. And while the football of others may be more effective, in terms of the aesthetic sometimes, this has been beautiful. Defensively, they have some work to do. That's okay, as a handball is called up here. They are, of course, playing a 21 centre-back at the moment, who's obviously made a great name for himself in Jacques Murray. I'm sure they'd love to have someone with a bit more experience next to Suhail Koya, but from what I've seen in total, it's been really exceptional. And even so, those names that I've mentioned have been brilliant tonight as well. But in attack especially, very, very impressed. Manjap Patel clips it in. Really good ball. Crowley was there, tried to flick it behind him. He goes down and then hit by Pender. Way, way over. But that was an opportunity to halve the deficit with only a couple more kicks left to go in this first half, you'd have to say. I can't imagine there'll be many stoppages that will bring about too much added on time by the referee. Well, we nearly saw the third for St. Pat's. We nearly saw the first for Minchinbury. How will this first half end? Really well done. Really well done, Reese. Singh clears. That was actually Joshua Baker. Buta and Soa don't communicate too well here. Soa might turn. Or this time tried to. Knows he's capable of unleashing a great strike and then always tends to turn provider instead. That brings about the last kickabout and action of the first half. 2-0 St. Pat's are to the good, and so far too good over Minchinbury, although their counter-attacking and occasional set-piece delivery has been very swift indeed. Max Dengate, of course, with that brilliant finish with his right boot before Koya scored the penalty that Michael Soa won. The captain of St. Pat's with a great game so far in the middle of the park. But St. Pat's, as I've rambled on about, as I've waxed lyrical about for the last 10 minutes or so, are playing really well. And considering the results around the ground, this will be very helpful in helping them secure top 4 in first grade. 2-0, St. Pat's, don't go anywhere. Second half action, not too St. Pat's obviously 2 to the good, and at the moment, too good, as has been mentioned a couple of times. If you've only just joined us, Max Dengate and Suhail Koya, your 2 goal scorers so far. The first from an excellent cross the keeper finish, and the second from a spot kick that was won by the captain of St. Pat's, Michael Sawyer. It's all but confirmed top 4 for them. All they'll need to do is get a draw, and then also just watch around for what the other results are. St. Pat's are going to be back in the final series in 2023. And with the way that they're playing right now, should they stay disciplined, I should also say, will be firing fit into the final series. All they need to do is break their voodoo against the top teams where they struggle to beat them. And of course, as I mentioned a couple of times, 2 out of an available 24 points so far against the top 3 teams in Tigers, Polonia and Oakville. Not in that order, forgive me. Oakville in second. They got a chance to do that against Polonia with their last game of the season because they have a bye for the last round of everybody else's season next week. Polonia, of course, in third, who haven't actually secured top 4 just yet. And funnily enough, they'll only be 2 points behind Polonia. Could very well finish above them if Polonia lose their next 2. Unlikely, but it could happen. I have seen stranger things, all 5 seasons of it too. Other side yet to put their foot on the ball just yet. Hicks Ashton clears that into next week. Lots of love for him in our live chat. Soa is a brilliant player. I'd like to apologise as well for any interruptions you're getting on the screen, so that the "we will be back soon" message, it's currently in the works of being fixed. Enchi, who was in Ghana last year, has come back to Australia and has been welcomed straight back into the St. Pat's family. Koya, who's been brilliant. Mangle to find Jacques Murray. Here is Vikash Mishra up the line to find Yasu Buta. Enchi here, dropping in deep. Asking a lot of Buta, and he's done so well. Pass out wide. Good idea. Baker there, clears into touch. Throw in. Opening moments of this second half. Murray. Ended up being a really lovely pass. T-Boy to find Enchi. Simran Singh behind him. He's broken free of him. Can he deliver? All the time in the world to deliver towards that front post. Easily claimed. Cleared. Oh, dangerous header back by Mangle. Might be forced to foul Crowley here. He has. Yellow card, professional foul. So we saw St. Pat's have a couple of pot shots from this far out. Blake Morris is no slouch when it comes to set pieces, although he might leave this for Manjot Patel. We saw them come so close when they clipped it towards the head of Crowley. This looks like more of a shot though. No, it's been clipped in again. Another good ball bouncing right short of the goalkeeper, who's done really well to dive on it. Lost his hat in the process, picked it back up, put it on. McDonald plays it short. Plays it short. Mangle. Murray. Soa. Wide this goes to Reese Magnal. He's made an inverted run to find T-Boy Aliu. Mangle, composed as ever. Buta. Square pass, left expertly well. These two on a different wavelength here. Watch him give it back, I'm sure. In behind Enchi. Snuffed out. Kwaku Asare there. Strange clearance. Better done there by Jackson Mans. D'Souza missed it. Sent again into touch for a throw-in by Joshua Baker. Giving the ball back is Varanatesh, suspended at the moment for some unkind words to the referee. Watching along from the sideline, has been forced to do 8 hours on the barbecue today as a result. Some Pats maintain their standards. Vikash Mishra almost with the double nutmeg there. In behind, question marks being raised if that was an offside. Enchi beaten to it by the goal line. Strange clearance out. Morris. Bit of a hit and hope. Same there by Vikash Mishra. One by Batal. Mishra again. Buta. Triangles, people. Triangles everywhere. Enchi. Soa, the player of the match so far. In behind again. Buta's had to be really quick to this. Easily done. And cleared. Mangnao fell to his backside there while passing the ball, but the perfect pass in the process. Uta, inverted touch, great touch in behind. Aliu, Hicks Ashton was always going to win the foot race. Around the grounds as well, Mariong 3-2 over Quakers Hill Juniors. No surprises, considering how good the young are. Short throw-in. Danger, hospital pass there for Mishra. He's done so well though, Murray. Mishra. So I did well. Bit fresher in the legs there. Into touch, throw-in. Around the world as well. Zambia losing 5-0 to Japan right now in the Women's World Cup. You can tune in at the same time as watching this. A 101st minute penalty to make it a whole. Another long throw. Enchi picks it up, looking for a match of the round goal. Elvis leaves it. Dengate. Soa. Nice passing. He's continuing on his run again. We know what happened last time. He did that. Mangle. Dengate. Clipped wide. So many some Pats players there. Free. Blake Morris, he's missed it. Dengate there. He launches it towards goal. Just a goal kick. It's still only 2 to the good at the moment. Very well find the confidence to get back into it fully. What a touch, Mangle. Enchi, who's dropped in to facilitate at times, is a completely selfless striker. Clipped in behind again. Simran Singh has to be strong. Really brave work. Enchi was threatening. D'Souza's making him run in behind. It's not gone towards him though. Really well won by Reese Mangnal. Beautiful work, Mangle. Actually used to play at Quakersill Tigers. Did Arsalan Mangul. Dengate, who's probably had a player of the match contending game today. He has looked effortlessly composed out there for a natural centre back. In behind again, Enchi. It's come to Aliu. Free kick to hard on Hicks. Ashton there. St. Pat's trying to urge themselves on to reach a higher gear here, shift upwards because they think that they're capable of more. Tarkin Chalai, the goalkeeper, just goes wide. Krawi there, strong work at the back. Suhail Koya. He's got 3 goals this year, now make it 4 by the way. Reese Mungnal is going to make way after playing the majority of the previous game to this as well. And again, they get rid of it, St. Pat's. Finding it too easy to make their way around the park at the moment. Cleared. Baker, he's hurt himself while doing it too. Sent inwards. Cleared before it became D'Souza's ball. Baker's looked to have shaken off his ankle concerns on that left-hand side. Back all the way to the keeper. Has to be forced into a clearance, Tarkin Chalai. Surely Crowie is offside. He's been finally called offside. Koya here. Throws it through the midfield expertly well, but Manjot Batal stopped it at the pivotal time. And could he launch a counter-attack? No. Koya with all the time in the world. Enchi receives it back. Twisting, turning. So agile. That pass poor though. St. Pat's really looking for a decisive third. Soa here. Feeds it through again. Given away. And now Crowley perhaps. He's showing some great pace. Up against Koya, who's had a really composed game at the back. Puts in a wonderful tackle there. Should be picked up here by Michael Pender. And they almost play with. So a break in play because the player's gone down in St. Pat's colours, and if my memory is serving me correctly and my eye test serving me just as good, it is going to actually be Suhail Koya. So far, the man who doubled the advantage for St. Pat's from the spot, who's gone down after putting in what was a really nice sliding in challenge on Kurt Crowley. He has got 2 goals in his last 2 games. But Koya is the one struggling at the moment. It's been really nice to finally have a match of the round at this rather large pitch here, Bert Saunders Reserve, and the pitch has held up really nicely well. Really well kept facility here. We've got a wonderful, very recently installed clubhouse as well, do St. Pat's. A long throw into the box. If they can find a goal here, the game is on. Crowley squares, and there was so much space there. In the end, I think that's Dengate who's dropped in to defend in a more natural position for him, and he just sends it into next week. Another long throw again, Baker. So I missed it. That's Blake Morris and Kwaku Asare over. So ticking past the 2/3 mark of the game now, 30 minutes or just under to go. Can't imagine there'll be much added on time either. And still, we haven't had a goal since, what, the 25th minute mark. So St. Pat's have been happy to hold on to their lead, but as I've mentioned a couple of times, they would want to find a third. And I'm sure it would be a decisive third. Oh, he's giving it away to Crowley here. Wants to make a 3 from his last 3. Here's Michael Pender. Used to play State League in Melbourne. Mans in an unfamiliar position. Kwaku Asare cleans it up. That was a really much needed touch there from the captain. Pender gives it away, but wins a free kick in the process. Plays it quickly. Wide, Mans. Crowley there. It's come nowhere near him. Soa. Urching for the foul. Didn't win it though, but St. Pat still have it. Dengate. Receives. Does Enchi. Turn. Attempt to get past Hicks Ashton, who's been beaten for pace for once, but the touchline got there first. Throw in, not for St. Pat's. And Elvis Enchi, not happy. Throw in has to be taken from a little further back. Morris. Man sends it into touch. Not where he wanted to put that ball at all. A big credit has to go to the volunteers each week who make this match the round happens. And a reminder that mini roos start as early as 8:30 in the morning sometimes, usually 9, but sometimes 8:30, meaning that sometimes people have to get here at 6:30, 7 o'clock to make sure fields are ready to go for the whole day. And by the time match of the rounds in particular happen, which is a 2-hour delayed kickoff at 6 p.m. rather than the regular 4 p.m., it means that these guys have to stick around for an extra hour, 2 or 3, depending on the roster. So to the volunteers who make these match of the round games happen each week, you might have been able to see them packing up already so far in the background of what's happening. The tents might have gone down, but that's not because they're wanting to get out of here. It's simply because it's been such a long day already, close to 12 hours for some. And to those who make it happen, we recognize you. Thank you for your efforts. There's been a lack of shots here in both ends of the pitch for both Minchinbury and St. Pat's, lacking in a little bit of quality. There was a lot of banterous playfulness happening in the dugout of St. Pat's. Minchinbury was far more Terminator-like, as Crowley now couldn't get past Murray. And Soa picks it up and will facilitate play from deep. Dengate didn't get there first, Mans did. Elvis Enchi has 2 to beat and a touchline to avoid, which he didn't. 65 minutes played. Still plenty of time for anything to happen in this game. That's been sent way up the line. Shouldn't allow that to bounce. Hicks Ashton will surely win it. He's then just sending out for a throw. Well, it is St. Pat's ball, so there's no rush for them to take it. So, a former son of Minchinbury Jets has flown onto the pitch. Nikola Rusitovic in the 52 jersey was involved in the media duties for a long time in these colours. Had a bit of a bone to pick in the reserve grade game where he played almost the entire 90, if not the. Has come on here for some first grade minutes too. He's a regular welcome figure in the engine room, that's for sure. He's put in a couple of mean tackles against his former friends and former teammates in the first game of the day. Let's see what he can do in the 52 jersey as they replace their midfield almost entirely now. Enchi, this should be the chance to make it 3 and seal the game, and perhaps finals football. Not left-footed, unfortunately. Got it horribly wrong. And it's been a couple of moments for the otherwise brilliant Elvis Enchi, where he's going to look back and think, how on earth did I not have a goal in this game? Still time, of course. Blake Hicks Ashton picks it up. Sends it out. Definitely feeling the fatigue now at 27 years old. He's in his physical prime, but he's been asked to run a lot today, and he's currently bent over on his haunches a little bit. He'll show a brave face, though. Handball called. Nikola Rusitovic straight into the talking rather loudly out in the middle. Sent long, Tarkan Chalai. Aliu. Rusitovic wide. Here's Murray up the touchline. Shark with a no-look pass. Don't mind that at all. Throw in it will be. Oakville versus Spurs, reserve grade 2 all. And also in first grade 2 all. So now we know the reserve grade result as well. Both cracking games. Thank you to Mr. Antonio Pirello, the referee, for his wonderful journalism that he does at the end of his games each week. So I will never lose a foot race or a physical battle. Another example of that there. Yasubuta. In behind. What a pass! Enchi now scores offside. What must he do to find a goal? What a pass, though. Minchinbury, give it a lifeline. Just over 20 minutes to go. They're going to make a sub. Joshua Baker comes off. Chad Zara has come on in the 36 jersey here at left back. Feeling the cold at the moment. You can see him brushing himself up. Simran Singh. Enchi didn't get a touch on it. Turn. Lovely there. Wide to Mans. They've also brought on Luke True in the 27 jersey. Dogged defensive work, Soa, but he's out of position now. Rusitovic covers him. Luke True involved again, putting a couple of big tackles in the reserve grade game too. Buta, good turn, and the Meg, beautiful. True is injured, and he's on the pitch. Saw him stumble there and feel very ginger. Rusitovic to Souza behind him. Played a perfect. Luke True. Mangle. Past the halfway line, St. Pat's. Great turn. Enchi making players twist and turn into each other. They're injuring each other now, Minchinbury. Their own worst enemy. Murray past his man. Will the keeper beat him to it? Yes, he will. There's a bunch of players down in Minchinbury colours. And certainly those out there who are feeling it heavy. Dengate, poor touch. Manjot Batal. Given away, poor pass. Mangle playing as Buta. Sent him behind. Enchi, touch with the bottom of his boot there, brilliant. Rusitovic, he wants one against his former club. A bit of a pot shot there. Actually, really nice technique and an easy save in the end, though. If he'd have scored, it would have been pandemonium on the sidelines. Guasare, that's illegal. Lucky not to give away a yellow card there. Mishra standing over it. All the time in the world. Good flat ball in. Missed by Quake Guasare on the follow-up. Good save by Blake Hicks Ashton, by the way. So corner to come in. St. Pat's so close to securing top four. Minchinbury Jets, it's running away from them. An in-swinger to come in just a moment's time. Danger spelling out here towards the back stick. Missed everybody there. Enchi now really wants his goal today. Still St. Pat's ball. Look at the time. Look at the time they've got. Brusitovic. Almost inviting them to just progress. Enchi, strong, very strong. Hicks Ashton, he's brilliant. This guy could, well, aside perhaps from that clearance there, his recovery work, very Kyle Walker-esque. Dengate had a perfect game, has Max. Vikash Mishra, what a ball in. But no one there. It was Hicks Ashton forced into clearing it. Maybe this time, Vikash Mishra for a second half goal, perhaps. A little bit of a push there. and cleared. It was Rusitovic who was jumping for it, you know. A second bite of the cherry a little bit further in. Nice flat ball. Hicks Ashton there again. They've both gone for it, both missed it, and someone's handballed it. Minchinbury want to play quickly. Rusitovic is there. Beats Mans to it. Mans is quicker though. Throw in. Mahir, great touch. Offside flag raise or handball perhaps. Free kick or penalty? What's been called here? I think it's right on the edge of the box. Well, St. Pat's are the only ones putting any kind of pressure on. And could they finally get what they've been looking for in this game? Yasu Buta standing over it. Two-man wall. Fired towards goal. Fired over goal too. Can they find a third perhaps from this press? Big press from Enchi. Actually really well done there by Tarkan Chalai. Luke True has cut inside. Bit of a Ronaldo chop there. Loose giveaway by Crowley, but he's got plenty of energy still it seems. Chad Zara goes back. The switch of play was actually beautiful there. Manjot Patel. Jacques Murray wins it. Yasu Buta there. Is there something happening here for Minchinbury Jets, perhaps? Look at the pace. Look at the pace of Arsalan Mangal. Blake Morris is there. Those two won't be too many shared handshakes after this game, I can promise you. Luke True. Match of the round debut. Soa, composed. Jacques Murray, great touch. Here is Mahir Gaunda. His second match of the round game. Enchi was definitely offside there. Zara's done well. Free kick given. 12 minutes to go. Blake Hicks Axton needs to just inspire something with perhaps a progressive pass like that. Giving away Luke True. In behind Mans. That's a fatigued pass. Forced to go back just a little bit. Jacques Murray, who's had a very solid game at both left back and centre back today. Oh, brilliant Buta. Wins the free kick. What a return to the match of the round it's been for him and Elvis Enchi. Mangle. What a first half he had in particular. Mishra, what a second half he's had, especially from delivery. Dengate, who's played everywhere across the front line. Nikola Rusitovic. Mahir Gaunda gives it away. Dengate strong. Quaker Wasawe stronger though. Blake Morris there, tried to find Bryce D'Souza. No Griffin Jacobs today. Bernard Freeman not preferred off the bench. I think he's gone home actually. Oh, Murray has got confidence in his boots, doesn't he? Has to be careful here though. We'll go all the way back to his goalkeeper. 10.5 to go. In behind, what a ball. Enchi, is this finally his chance? Perhaps a delivery, a reverse step over across the face of goal. Hicks Ashton again in the way. How many times? How many times is he going to stop it? Long shot, easy save. And the crowd are loving it too. Missed by Soa. That's not the usual flick of the foot he'd usually have. True. Whose ball? Important call. Minchinbury's. Strong work, Crowley. That ball's gone out. I was about to say it stayed in. It has in fact gone out. Michael Soa feeling the pains of using his hamstrings too much today. Cramp starting to kick in a little bit for the ever-brilliant St. Pat's Jr., now Premier League captain. Tamba Aliyu. Rusitovic, not the springiest chicken in terms of his pace. Kwaku Wasare wants it back, receives it back. Gets it back again. Centered pass. Manjot Patel. Hicks Ashton. Great pass, that is. Crowley goes down, free kick. Michael Soa lost his cool for a second there. And they're saying Crowley has been diving all day. Sean McDonald wants a wall as quick as possible. Manjot Patel wants to take it as quick as possible. Rusitovic first to jump into the wall, no surprise. He wants to take the big block against his former club. Luke True standing over it as well. Was this the chance to halve the deficit? There is still plenty of time for something miraculous to happen here. But it will take a miracle. Manjot Patel fires it into the feet of the wall. Second stab at it though, pulled wide. Crowley was offside. Bryce D'Souza saved anyway. A good connection on it though. Did the concreter. There's a chance brewing here. They have a numerical advantage. Absolutely zero midfield outside of Kwaku Wasare right now. Tamba Aliyu. Max Dengate in behind. What a game he's had. Enchi could cap off a good performance with a goal. He deserves one. He's come too close to not have one. Back to Dengate, who does have one, and that's his first real muck-up of the day. Just over 5 minutes to go. Time running out for Minchinbury. A draw does nothing for them. A loss, oh, obviously. Neither does that. Luke True, chest control. Alright. Ever hilarious out there. Wanted the yellow card to be given. His wish was not commanded. They played it short. Tries to Vinicius, does it so well. He's about to be banged into here. Feel the pain of game. Usually a player for the younger ranks. He's a guy who's got a long time, can still be registered as a 21s player. a step up to first grade. Perhaps a tiny, tiny bit too early, but he hasn't really had the opportunities he would have wanted. Mans. Crowie, who's been dangerous now, trying to facilitate. That's poor. Bryce D'Souza's going to make way, speak of the devil. Bernard Freeman, a goal of the week winner, will come on. Scored a brilliant goal against Glenwood to open the scoring in a game that was won by the Jets. They have scored a minimum of 2 goals in every match of the round game they've played this year. Today it's looking like that won't happen. Tambaliu free to turn, free to twist, free to play like that. St. Pat's are a team who have lost a lot of games in the very last minutes of the 90 minutes. Gounder, really well done. Rusitovic. I don't think today is going to be a repeat of that. But it's funny how many teams actually say that they play good for the full 90 minutes and some who score winners against them late. Enchi now, touch away from goal. Corner to be taken. He wants to take it quickly, does Elvis Enchi. Instead, it will be Vikash Mishra to come all the way across to take this. So a little rejigging of maths. Considering that Spurs tied 2-2 today, that means that Polonia, despite their own draw, have also secured top 4 today as that ball comes in and is cleared ahead of getting to Yasu Buta. So, congratulations to Polonia. The minimum amount of, or the maximum amount of points that Spurs can get was reduced by 2, down to 22 from 24. And Polonia already on 23, so therefore they have locked it up today. Big congratulations to them. It's been a really good second season. Well, I should say first from coming down, but second season since the squad overhaul really happened. Massive coming together there. Luke True's left one in on Dengate there. He's going to take some time to just lie on the ground. He's the match winner today. He deserves to. Back to his feet now, though. He's a tough cookie. Look at the watch by the referee there. Bernard Freeman straight into action. Gives it away. Mangal clears. Mangal, I should say. Hicks Ashton misses it. Ooh, high foot called, high foot given. I guess you kind of have to go for it. It's going to be a yellow card for Hicksy as well. 2 to go. Some fan and player banter happening at the moment. If you can hear it, I apologize for how boring and vanilla it was. Anyway, apologies to those as well who were offended by what they heard. St. Pat's taking indirect free kick here, well over the bar. That might be the last chance of the game, you know. They're going to go to their bench one more time. St. Pat's. A big well done to Max Dengate, the match winner here today. On 88 minutes, he makes way after a brilliant performance. Ooh, very careful work, Tarkan Chalai. Yasu Buta still full of running. Jackson Mans maybe not so. Mere seconds to go in this one. No goals in the second half, but still a very entertaining one at that. We've seen some brilliant flair, and that's come from the lack of a Minchinbury press and a lack of presence in midfield. It's allowed some Pats to be devious on it. It's a welcome to the match of the round for the number 30, Shaden Fernandez, who's come onto the pitch. You can see him here just side of the 18-yard box, perhaps a little bit to the bottom right of your screen. There he is. Thank you, Mitch. Perhaps some votes coming in here, or some votes that might be swayed for the All-Stars game that happens at the start of next year. There's been some real good performance out there. I can imagine if Suhail Koya had played the full game, he might have been one that convinced people to turn their heads to. We are into borrowed time. It is to the discretion of the referee. Right on cue. Thank you, Lockie Baker. That brings an end to this wonderful game. Minchinbury Jets unfortunately out of finals contention. It's been a difficult alt season for them. Plenty of positives, goals in match of the round games. But what could have been slips through their fingers. Some Pats, 2 first half goals, one from Max Dengate, who was a man of the match contender, if not the, and also Suhail Koya from the spot after Michael Soa, the captain, won the penalty. That's all it took. And from then they really took their foot off the gas, but that's because they were allowed to. And they showed that they could play some nice football, and they entertained the masses and their home fans. Had to stick around for an extra couple of hours for the match of the round occasion. Would have loved what they saw out there. So they have a bye next to Minchinbury Jets, and they'll face Oakville, which is a tough test in the last round of the season, although they aren't playing for anything, neither team, so they might just go for it. Oakville have a bye, I should say, forgive me, St. Pat's have a bye in the last round of the season, and they have Polonia next week, who have just secured promotion. All they need to do is pick up a point, and that's if the teams around them don't pick up a point. Congratulations to St. Pat's for all but making top 4 this year. I'm keen to see what they can do, but for the teams around them, keep your foot on the gas. You never know what could happen in the last couple of rounds. My name is Mark DePoli. I thank you so much for being here. A reminder that the match of the round tomorrow in the Women's Premier League, and don't forget to watch the World Cup around while you're there too, is, of course, Kellyville up against Quakers Hill Juniors at Birmingham Lane. Go down and watch it at 3 p.m. if you don't mind. Next Saturday, though, Quakers Hill Juniors will host Ponds at 7 p.m, although that time is subject to change, at Quakers Hill Park or Blacktown Football Park. The location also subject to change. You'll see on the post a couple of days beforehand. But as I said, my name is Mark DePoli. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you all. Leave a like if you did enjoy, and see you next time.